This episode contains adult language and discussions that may be triggering or offensive to some people. Discretion is advised. Self-development is a term that recently, some might say, has been hijacked because people don't really know what it is. There's loads of people out there saying that they've got systems and models and methods that are going to help us become a better person and develop ourselves. However, what happens when somebody passes away? What happens when your partner cheats on you? What happens when you get a fatal diagnosis? How does self-development hold up then? These methods, systems, models, they're great. I've got a few myself. But really, what it comes down to is real life. And today, I have the genuine honour of speaking to a man who I've followed on social media for some time. The reason I follow him is because I find his content tackles real-life challenges head-on and is thought-provoking and offers realistic perspectives. Today, I get to speak to the mindset soldier, David Smith. How are you, buddy?
I am blessed, mate. Grateful to come on your show, man. It's been a long time coming, my friend.
It has, man. I mean everything I say. I just think life is messy, unpredictable, raw and rugged, and I'm guilty of it myself. Sometimes on social media we present ourselves all polished and perfect and on the 100th take, and I'm sure you don't nail out a video straight off the back. I'm sure you've had to do a couple of second takes yourself.
I believe it, bro. That's terrible.
But you are just always so honest. You share so much of yourself, and what you do is helping people, man. And that's evident from the amount of people that are following you, the comments that I see in your stuff. You're one of those people where I never scroll past, mate. Never scroll past. I always stop. I always listen.
Same with you, like your stuff's very thought-provoking. Do you know what I mean? You help me. And when you scroll down, stop, listen. A lot of people these days, they listen to people, but don't actually hear them. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And that's it, isn't it? It's that real life stuff. And I'm not like crapping on anybody by saying models and methods. Like I said, I've got models. I find models are a nice way to help people remember stuff. But I think sometimes people get so heavily reliant on models with, say, stuff like grief. I unfortunately had a close family member pass away, and I went to the funeral on Monday, and it's hard. It's hard to see people around you devastated, that they've lost everything. There's nothing you can say. And then there's the obvious awkwardness. Oh, how are you? Well, not good. No one's good. We're all at a funeral, but it's real life, man. So, and I know you haven't got loads of time today, so I'm not going to wrap it on too much, but I want to start really by asking you, how did you become David Smith?
A lot of trauma, a lot of pain, but also a lot of beauty. And sometimes we can't see the silver lining when we're in them kind of emotions. And that's why it's took me, I would say I'm 36. It's took me 30 years to really grasp who I am, because I always question myself, especially with labels. People put like, I've got CPTSD, ADHD, EUPD, whatever you want to do, it's their freaking alphabet. But I don't really say it as much. It's just becoming so self-aware and emotionally intelligent is so important when you go through trauma and struggles, and you may get a label of these ADHD or emotional personality disorders or bipolar. You need to really dig deep in yourself. It's really important, because you will wreck not just your own life, everyone around you. And I'm so good at wrecking people's life. I don't mean to do it, but I do.
Is that on your CV, is it? Hi, I'm David, I'm a life wrecker. Doing that long? Yeah, a little bit. Oh, mate. So, you've got a history in the military, is that right?
That's correct, yeah. So you joined the military in 2009, did just under 8 years, just over 8 years, 2 operational tours, mentioned dispatches, which is a gallantry medal, and I was a physical training instructor and a lance corporal.
How do you feel like that affected your life? How do you feel like that impacted some of the decisions you made and some of the events that have happened in your life?
It broke me, but made me. Like, I wouldn't be the man I am today without the military. I didn't have a father figure. The military gave me them. My mum was an alcoholic, amazing mum. So I never had anyone that's no stability in my life. The military gave me that. It gave me a pay packet. It gave me growth. It broke me. I just wouldn't be here without it, because it gave me that mental fortitude to get through things. When you're 19 years old and you were living on the street 6 months ago, and next minute you're in Afghan getting shot and see your mates blown up, just like, bro, life comes at you quick.
That's a massive change. I mean, the adjustment emotionally must have been, you probably didn't do that till many years after, I'd imagine.
Yeah, but it gave me gratitude instantly. Like I say on other ones, it's people in training. So when I was in training, I had no plan B. Like I said, so I had no plan B. It was like plan A, or live on the streets and keep drug dealing. I didn't know what to do. So it was literally plan A. Like, I had to pass this, and I gave it everything. I weren't the fittest, I weren't the strongest, I weren't the most intelligent, but out of 100 recruits, I got best recruit. Do you know what I mean? Out of 100 people.
Ain't no one breaking you, bro.
People hated me when in training, because the DS would be like, right, let's do this odd makeup shit. Go on and beast me. I've been through so much shit, you ain't breaking me. They did break me, but in the best way. Do you know what I mean? And it just conformed me to just like, I know I'm good at this. I know I'm powerful in chaos. Like, I don't crumble in chaos. I'll crumble in comfort when I'm sat on my sofa watching Gogglebox.
You say about drug dealing before the military. I wondered, was your life defined by, your early life defined by not really having any choices?
Yeah. The power is in the choice. Like, God gives us the choice. Like, I follow Jesus Christ now. He's my Lord and Savior. I found him last year. But the power is in choices, but sometimes we don't have the choice. People take things from us. Like, humans are disgusting creatures. Do you know what I mean? And I say proudly, I know we make, because I know what I do and I know what I think about on a constant daily thing. My choices were took away from me from very young, 3-4 years old. I was taken to the care system. I was abused mentally, physically, emotionally, sexually. I was a mute. I was pinned in the corner at school. I was never allowed to play out in the school. I had to have someone help me constantly from nursery till I left school at 16. Someone sat next to me because they didn't know how to put me in environments. Do you know what I mean? They always pushed me out to be the angry kid, the kid that no one wants to talk to, no one wants to spend time with. Do you know what I mean? The fear of abandonment was just horrific.
Mate, yeah.
And I still feel like that.
We don't have long enough to dig into your life, do we? As I'm sat here, I've got all these questions going on. I'm like, I can't ask that. It'll be too long.
I'm very straight to the point. I'm not one of them people who go on a tangent because, do you know what I mean? I love directness. I'm black or white with EUPD. I'm very black and white. You tell me something, it's going to hurt you, but deal with it.
Yeah, well, that's life, isn't it? I think one of the things that you do best is you reflect back that humanness to everybody that comes across you. One of the things that always makes me laugh but makes me angry a little bit is that comment that I think you must get in every single post, as if I'm going to take advice from someone with tattoos all over their face. It's like, you've totally missed the point of this, haven't you?
You'll have seen the comments then.
I go to the comments usually because I'm going to write a comment, but then I see it's always there. It's the same comment. I don't even know if it's the same person or what, but it's just... And this is the thing. I think that you was exactly right. Human beings were all flawed. The ones that look least flawed are the ones that have got the most flaws, in my opinion. I've seen it with my own eyes as a coach and as somebody that works with emotions. And I think what you do is you are unapologetically you. You reflect back to the world what it is to be human. And some people resonate with that and say, yeah, that's how it really feels. There's something about this guy. And there's others that are like, no, I'm not like that. So you are though, aren't you?
And I see things. It's either you triggered or treated. And I say to people,
nice.
if I say something, if it triggers you, but then sometimes it will treat you, as in it's the antidote. Like people will say to me, you're literally saying what I've been thinking for years.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's just, it took me a long time to get my voice. I lost my voice. From my child, I was a mute. I didn't speak to anyone and lashed out with anger, resentment. I was the victim for years because I was a victim. You have to become the victim before you become the victor. And it takes a lot of progression, a lot of self-development. Do we truly know who we are as a person? Not really. God's got our plan, not us.
I love that saying, no person steps in the same river twice, because it's never the same river and it's never the same person. It's true, because we're not the same person. As a coach, when I speak to a client, I could have only spoken to them yesterday, but when I speak to them, the first 10 minutes is just working out who they are today. Because if they're trying to develop themselves, if they're trying to change, then theoretically they'll be different from the person they was yesterday. It might be an ever so slight difference, but it is different. And if I treat you like you used to be, then I'm cueing you to be that person. We're always changing. We're always evolving. And I think that's what you acknowledge. You don't claim to own your life. You're just on it for the ride. And I'm very curious about your recent relationship with God. I've noticed that on your socials and I found it captivating and actually really beautiful to watch. Big question straight off the bat, about 10 minutes in. That's why I save it, right? Let's go to it. What's the most challenging and emotionally painful thing that you've experienced in your life? And what do you think you learned from it?
It's hurting people. I don't intentionally do it. And it's context off EUPD. Like, it breaks me hurting people. But it is about abandonment, feeling loneliness, and just scared constantly. Like, someone will love me. I had everything, I had a family, I had everything. And I still feel like they were going to leave me constantly. And then what do you do then? You start putting things in place to create chaos, self-sabotage, you do things and you just like, what the fuck? The amount of times I've cried myself to sleep because of my actions and I don't even know I'm doing it. It is hard work and I'm still learning, I'm still developing, but it's not about me this life, it's not. I take myself out of it. The ego, the bullshit, it's not about me. Just do not care about it. It's how can I help people? What can I do to serve people? What can I do to serve myself and stop doing the things that I do? And this is a real transition for me from going loneliness to solitude. Loneliness was really bad for me. Like, I could be watching TV at night for 5 minutes, reading the Bible, absolutely euphoric, happy, like I'm going to bed happy, get to bed, start to pray, get in bed. 2 minutes later, I'm thinking about killing myself and it goes in and I have to get up, I have to move, I have to go to sleep, try and get up, think about killing myself. What have I done? How have I done this today? Why did I do that to that person? Back to sleep and wake up happy. Then that's why I have to fill every minute of my day with something about gratitude, being grateful, being positive, doing something. Right, I'm thinking this way. Right, write it down, acknowledge it, journal it, move it. Trying to move the emotions around instead of sitting in it, which is so important because it's just extremes with EUPDs. It's not nice. I call it like the mental health condition that's incurable because there's no medication that's going to help you because the antidepressant doesn't help you. I'm not depressed. I'm very happy sometimes. I'm very down. Do you know what I mean? It's just you can't really regulate them emotions properly. So being on that self-development journey, which you're amazing at and your content's amazing, mate, is just that little thing you need. That little thing you need. The little thing you need to keep yourself. Little thing. It's not these big things.
Yeah, because it's unsustainable. Those emotions, we're not supposed to be experiencing the same emotion all the time. That the Latin for emotion translates as energy, emotion, and it suggests that we're always supposed to be feeling different emotions. That emotion comes in and it goes out. Emotion comes in and it goes out. If you walk around happy all the time, well, people do get medicated for that.
Kind of schizophrenic.
Yeah, exactly. So you're supposed to go through those range of emotions, and they get stuck when people deny them and avoid them, and they say, no, I don't feel like that, when they really do. Again, lying to themselves. And that, again, is one of the things I think I admire most about you, is that whether you want to feel the way you do or not, you own it. You own the emotion. You might not want it. And this is the thing, we don't get the choice. I once read an anecdote, and it said, if you get stung by a stinging nettle leaf, the antidote to the sting is found within the leaf that stung you. But people are rarely brave enough to scrunch up the leaf that stung them and rub it on themselves. And that's a bit like the things that we have done. The only way we're going to process them is by really looking at them and going, I did that. I feel a certain way about it, wherever it is, and acknowledging and becoming aware of those emotions. But people don't do it. They don't, and I get why. No one wants to feel like that, but it's hard. But I think it might be worth you explaining what the EUPD is.
Emotional unstable personality disorder. So it's like the context of BPD. So it's a personality disorder, but emotional. So I can't regulate my emotions properly. And that stems from my childhood, being abused. I had my mum abandoned, my dad, my sister dying, being homeless, constantly abused for the care system, mentally and physically. And what it is for me is the emotions. I don't regulate my emotions properly. If you were crying with me right now, but said you were happy and you were fine, I take that as gospel. You're fine. But then I'll walk away from the situation. I'll come back later. You walked away from me. How dare you? I was really crying. You didn't you see it? Yep, but you said you were okay. You're okay. Like I don't get it. Tell me, please. I don't know what I've done wrong. It's just black and white for me, and it's so hard because I literally coach. How I coach people is through feelings and emotions. Sometimes I'll just close my eyes. I'm on a Zoom. I'm just like, I'm not going to look at you. I just need to feel it. Speak to me. Keep going, because sometimes, like I say to people, salt looks like sugar, but only one sense can tell the difference.
No,
It's a powerful saying.
Yeah.
Because I don't trust what you're saying to me. I don't trust what you're doing. It's your feelings and emotions and your instinct that I really want to get in tune with, because you can't lie energy. You can't lie with it.
Mate, you're so right, because people sometimes show up with a version of themselves that they think I want to see. And I know it's not right. I can feel that, like you say. And the only way through it is by asking those questions and challenging them to a point where they can't hide anymore. You're asking such a direct question, they're going to have to choose to lie, and they're probably not going to do that. So thank you for explaining that, because your whole life, you must have felt scared all of the time.
Constantly. Fight or flight is constant. Like, there's an amazing quote, the body keeps a score. Insane book. That has helped me, like, I sort of reread it and understood it. And then context from certain paragraphs have just hit me at certain points. And it's just, even now, like, me and my ex-partner are together because of my decisions. I get that. I'm accountable for her. But when I found Jesus, he made me think, yes, bro, you may be accountable, but you're not repenting. You have to learn what repentance is. And repentance is change, which is turn. So you have to change your behavior. A lot of people, especially narcissistic and gaslighters, what they'll do is be acceptable for and acknowledge what they've done, but keep doing it. What you need to do is change, because if you don't change the behavior, you're not changing. So if they're constantly doing it, I can accept it all day. I'm accountable. Yeah, good one, mate. What are you doing to change? I couldn't give a shit about your accountability, but what are you doing to change? And I'm bad for it. I sit down and journal. Write down what I've done. You ain't changed shit then. So freaking change it. I start changing it slowly. Then I can feel things creeping in. Change it constantly.
Yeah, you're right. And it's a lot of those people are in the public eye. They use their mistakes as a way to promote themselves almost. So your mistake, the things that you find emotionally challenging in your life were the people that you've hurt. And those experiences, are they the things that emotionally trigger you day to day, do you think? Is it those thoughts that come back up of the people that you've hurt, and does it spiral for you? How does it play out?
Yeah, it's what I've done to people, especially in every relationship. I've not had any good relationship, and mainly it is part of me. People have showed me love that I just never knew I could accept, and I can give love, I can't accept it. It's really, and I still can't today. I'm 36, but I cannot accept love, and it's something I'm working on, especially with therapy and stuff like that. I just can't accept it. So when I look back on things, I'm just like, my life could be so much better. Like, my family should be in this house with me. Do you know what I mean? I should be seeing my kids every single day, which I do try and see them every single day. My life could be so much different if I was so much better and the things that I didn't go through. But that's a victim mindset. Like, what can I do to prevent this? What can I do to change? What can I do to be better? Do you know what I mean? I think with people with extreme ADHD, because people can have ADHD and still be very functional and do the things, like ADHD for me is debilitating. Like, I can't get shit done. And then my EUPD spikes up. And what happens with me then is I need to segregate myself from everyone. People who have EUPD need to tell people if they're in a relationship, need to note down their trigger points so the partner knows about it, because it's horrific for the partner. If they're about a normal life and you've just got with someone with EUPD, it's not fair. But we just want to love you so much, but we're so scared of you running away from us. A little thing. For instance, if you go out for the day, but you take your toothbrush because you want to brush your teeth at work, you've triggered me. You're leaving me. You've took your toothbrush. You took everything. I'm searching through drawers. Where's she gone? I'm ringing you. So why have you done that?
Yeah, and it's in your mind and it's spiraling and it becomes this little monster for you, I suppose, right?
It's horrific, mate. Like, I can go, like, probably you've seen my content in the morning. I can be actually happy. 3 hours later, I'm doing content. Like, I'm done. I'm done with life. I'm stuck with it. But I'm just open and honest. You know what I mean? I just couldn't, like, the amount I've been through. You telling me that you're not going to listen to me. I've got tattoos. Show you it's a reflection of you, my friend, not me.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. No, I agree. And I think you deal with it with grace. I mean, I don't know how you feel in the moment when you read it, but I think you deal with it with grace. And it's obvious to me that God helps you. That whole relationship is beneficial to you. But before we sort of go that direction, because I do want to talk about that, what is the emotion that you think you tend to avoid or dislike having the most, do you think?
Happiness, bro.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a dirty word for me. I try and make things really small for people when I do my content. I'm trying to fit content in my whole life into 30 seconds over 30 years. Like you do as well, brother. And it's quite hard, right? But it's love and happiness. It's a dirty word for me. Abuse is love for me. When people abuse me, it comforts me because it's all I've ever known. And trying to get out of that and accept it's hard. It's more layers than an onion, bro. Like, it's just hard. When people abuse me, when they rob me, I've had friends rob me of tens of thousands of pounds. It's just, I still love you, bro. So good. But then when someone loves me, get away from it.
It's hard, man. I mean, what is it about love that you reject, that you avoid, that what is it that's so spiky for you?
It's just not a safe space for me because people pretend well. Trust is massive. Like, whenever I got abused as a child, they acted like they still loved me. They hugged me, they brought me things, they took me out, but then they'd abuse me. It's like, what is this? And it just totally changed my chemical imbalance as a child. And that famous saying, show me the boy for 7 years, I'll show you the man. Because how we're neurologically wired emotionally as a child would literally tend to be the person we are as an adult. And yes, I'm wired differently to other people, but I'm also trying to change it. Dr. Joe Dispenza is amazing at trying to how to rewire neurological pathways and neurons in your body and brain and how it works. And it's just, I've had to be on a self-development journey. So people who have got these mental health conditions, stop trying to seek help from people that haven't been through the same things that you've been. Yes, it's good to go counselling and therapy, but bro, they're just reading from a script. They think they know, they don't know they're feeling.
They don't realize that you don't have autonomy over that. It's not something that you do. It's something that happens to you. For me, if I'm emotionally triggered in some way, I feel like I've been locked in a cage. Like I'm only shouting at myself to stop doing what I'm doing, but I can't. I have no influence over it. Do you think it's trust then? Do you think that's the emotion that you avoid, the trust, because maybe you don't believe in trust?
If you can't fully trust yourself, like we all don't, no one trusts themselves. And okay, you don't trust yourself in situations. Do you know what I mean? So I don't fully trust myself. I don't fully trust anyone. I love people extremely, like my kids extremely, my ex extremely. I can get into relationships so quick. They're everything to me. And the next minute I'm just done because I don't trust them, but it's nothing them done. It's something I've put a context into my brain. It's the same as anxiety. Anxiety is just fake force. It's just what you hold on to and what you give. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. And I suppose with that trust, as you get closer to, I don't know, love, and that trust requirement goes up, the fear steps in, and you're like, the idea of getting screwed over again, I'm not doing it. So I'm just going to pull the plug on it, and I'm just going to move away from it. Does that sound accurate, do you think?
It does, yeah. And sometimes it doesn't really matter what people do for you. They can be the permanent partner. I love my ex who I've got my children with. She's amazing. She gave me everything. But also, she didn't give me things in the relationship that I really needed with my EUPD and ADHD, which then emotionally shut me down. And then I was just numb to things. And I just felt like I was floating through life for years. And I know I did the things that I did, and I'm accountable for it. I'll always regret it. But in then moments, sometimes people with an average mindset or an average life that they've been through and not had that much trauma don't realize what it takes to get yourself out of these situations. Like, it's debilitating, bro. Like, it is.
It's tiring.
It's tiring, bro. Where most days I'm in chronic pain sometimes. My back's killing me, but I've done nothing because I'm holding on to that trauma. I just can't release it.
Yeah, that's significant because I kept trying to intellectualize my trauma for years. In the body, my body's going, so we're just going to ignore this, are we? We're just going to ignore all this pain that you're in all the time and this discomfort and the fact that you're not sleeping and your digestive system's screwed and you've got random headaches and rashes for no reason.
You try and become the master, but you always have to be the student. You can only get wisdom from experience and education. Do you know what I mean? There's so many people out there with a lot of wisdom but never used it. I know people at 80 years old that have learned through their life.
I find that really intriguing, that trust thing. And I suppose, really, why would you trust people? In the past, you've got a lot of evidence to support the idea that people can't be trusted, including yourself, which you own up to and all of that. So do you just avoid any sort of deeper relationships? Not avoid. Are you careful with that?
That's the right word there, brother. You've used it. I know you tried to articulate it probably bad, but it's avoidance. And I do try and avoid it because sometimes your partner needs to be your therapist. And that's a lot to put on that person, especially the things that I've been through. The things that I've been through, and I get with a person, I'm going to put my ex into this, is had a really good life. Sadly, the things happened to her, but she's had a really good life, stable upbringing, mum and dad that love her, caring household, great job, great environment. And then I come into the mix where I think I've healed to a certain extent. I think I'm better. And then my EUPD goes out a freaking spiral. Man, it's going to be secondary CPSD for her or PTSD for her because I'm going to put her through things that she does not deserve. And I don't mean to do it. And it freaking gets me and it upsets me. And I crucify myself daily for the things that I do. I'm just sometimes, we are not in control. Do you know what I mean? The best way I can try to analogize this is, if me and you were in a car, you were on the passenger seat, we're driving down the road at 70 miles an hour. My EUPD is you in the car. I'm driving, you take the steering wheel. I have no control. Even though I'm in the driving seat, I have no control. You've literally just, bam, put us straight into the ditch. I have no control of it.
So you protect other people then?
I take a shower by myself, I eat by myself, I watch TV by myself, I walk by myself, I feed by myself, I talk by myself. I do everything by myself 99% of the time because I can't be around people because I'm always feeling like I'm going to hurt them when I don't intentionally need to do it.
Wow. That's hard, man. That must be really, really difficult.
All I want to do is happy and have a happy life, a happy family, and that. But it's something I really can't get to the gist. I hope I can in the next couple of years or whatever.
Do you feel like you're making progress with it?
Yeah, I am. It's just understanding it and doing certain parts of therapy. Like, therapy is really hard with EUPD because the structure around it is like 6 to 12 months in the DBT, but they haven't been through it. But I was going through my therapy, months into it, I had to change a couple of appointments because like children, I had to pick them up in my work. So I work 6 days, 7 days a week. They were just like, if you change one more appointment, we're going to have to cancel the whole therapy. Trick, abandonment, trust.
Yeah.
I'm just like, you don't get it.
No, do you know what? That's so relevant because when my wife had to have her ADHD diagnosis, they gave her the longest form you've ever seen in your life. And she's like, I've got ADHD. I'm not filling in this. And she proper lost it. She hates all of that. People need help and they can get help, but quite often they put the thing that they most hate right in the way. The labeling, the EUPD, the bipolar, all of these different things, they help us not create a glass shelf. They don't create limitations as such. They're not an excuse or whatever anyone wants to call it. They are...
They're bro, excuse.
Yeah, they're not. They are a diagnosis to help you understand yourself so that you can manage yourself and you can help people understand you and manage you better. You know, since my wife got her ADHD diagnosis, it's helped her, but it's helped me so much because now I understand that when she does certain things, it's not what I thought it was. It's her way. Like sometimes she'll interrupt me. And it's because if she doesn't say what she's going to say right now, it's gone. And she feels that she really wants to contribute to the conversation. So, but before, I'd be like, you don't respect me. You don't respect me at all. You're just interrupting me and you don't care about anything I've got to say, which is, again, my emotional trigger, not being respected. So now I understand and I have to be patient. It's not always easy. Sometimes I'm tired and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going to have to wait and let her say a thing. You know, but I'm now willing to make the effort because I understand the situation differently. I realize guess what? It's not about me. It's about her.
That's amazing that you do that, bro. And I commend you for it because people in relationships don't do that. And I do therapy for people with ADHD is what you're saying. You need to allow someone to talk until they're fully stopped and then talk.
Yeah.
I know what is important that you're thinking, but you're not actually listening to the person.
It's effort on both sides. She's going to put in the effort to not interrupt. And now she does it. I'll go, sorry, babe, do you mind if I finish? And she'll say, sorry, which means she's acknowledging that she's doing it. So it's effort on both sides. And to me, that effort is everything. It's that, okay, you can't just say to someone, hey, listen, you've got ADHD and you interrupt people, stop doing it. And they go, oh, okay, I'm going to stop. I'm just going to stop change. I'm just going to change the behavior of a lifetime.
Eating disorder, stop freaking eating.
Yeah, exactly. She's willing to make the effort to change and I'm willing to be patient enough to wait for her to make those changes. And that change is going to take practice daily. And guess what? Sometimes that practice is going to go really well and we can go, yeah, well done. And sometimes it's not. And that's where the patient comes in because I've got to go, okay, she's trying most of the time, but today she's too tired and she just wants to say words. So I'm just going to let her do it. Just to sort of bring this thing to a close, because I know that you haven't got a lot of time left. What do you think are the most significant factors negatively impacting people's emotional health today? And what do you think the solutions are?
Negatively, I think people, which I'm not sick of hearing, I am a little bit, how many people are going on healing journeys? So a healing journey, I get it. You need to work on things yourself. You need to take control for yourself. But
Of course.
life isn't about that. It's about other people. So what I say to people, I've done a video on it. Isn't it funny how many people go on a healing journey but don't be accountable for their actions and what the hurt they've done to other people? What about the people that you've hurt? You've not apologized or you've not repented. You've not made that behavioral change. Yeah, you might be going on a healing journey and going up mountains, doing corridor bath here. Because all it is about the ego and about the self. Take yourself away from the flesh. Right, what can I do to help other people so I can change? Change comes from helping other people, not changing yourself, because that's just ego-driven, bro.
Mate, that's profound. So your healing journey is not about you, it's about everybody else.
100%. Of course it is.
Wow. Yeah, that's powerful, man. That's interesting. I've never looked at
Jesus
it
told
like
me
that.
that, brother.
That's interesting. So all these things that you're doing for yourself, hoping that you're healing, isn't the answer. It's the damage that you've done and the repenting that you're talking about, the changing your behavior, which means not changing your behavior by going and climbing mountains. It's changing your behavior by being a good person, not walking past the homeless person and pretending you don't see them.
Going up mountains thinking it's your therapy, going to the gym, like that's the thing that breaks me is I go to the gym for therapy. No, it's not, because you're only there for an hour, and it is like therapy because you go for an hour and still feel shit after. Do you know what I mean? But getting actually working on the things, yes, it may improve you physically because the best thing to do is get that serotonin dopamine straight away, is do some physical exercise to change the chemical in your body. I get it. But you're not changing your state of mind, you're changing the chemical. Do you know what I mean? Self-reflect. Right, what have I done to people? Right, that emotion's triggered that. Right, I've done that to people. How can I stop doing that as a person? Not thinking, oh, he's hurted me, he's cheated on me, he's done that, or she's done this and she's done that. I need to go on healing journey. It's about me now, self-development. I'm being selfish. Because I've had to be brutally honest with myself. I am not a nice person. I'm kind, but I'm just not a nice person.
I wonder if it's that you're not a nice person, it's that you're capable of being an unpleasant person.
Very unpleasant. I can turn people's lives upside down. I can turn my own life upside down. Do you know what I mean? So I have to be kind to myself and kind to other people at every opportunity. If someone annoys me, I will let them know. I don't do it in a negative way. I'm like, bro, you annoy me. If you don't want to accept that sound, if you want to elevate it, it's sound.
That's what I mean, though. You reflect truth. Like, you should be able to say that to somebody. And they should be emotionally stable enough to be able to receive that information and do what they need to do with it, like back off, walk away. And I think that's life, right? It's like you can't really stop what happens. Things happen.
There's no plan. People may plan and things may like a coincidence. There's no such thing as a coincidence when God's involved. Do you know what I mean? If things happen to us in life, I know God's put me through some difficult things, but I still love and adore him because he's shown me what love is on a deeper level. Like, I cry when I think about Jesus. I cry when I read the Bible.
Do you let God love you?
It took a long time, but I know he loves me. And I shared a video on my story. I think it was yesterday. Like, I'm going to try and articulate this a bit better, but he was doing a sermon. He was on about how much God loves us. He despises sin, despises it, but he still forgives and loves us because he already knows what we're going to do. He knows every bad action, every bad thought, everything we're going to do, but he still loves us. And it's that unconditional love, like a mother and a father to the child. Doesn't matter what that kid does. He could kill someone. He could do horrific things, but we still hug and have compassion. And that's what God does to us. And it took me a long time to accept that. And it's a slow journey with Jesus, but I do accept that he does love me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So what do you think was it just the time that it took to allow God to love you?
It didn't come from an Islam background. I converted to Islam when I was 16. It gave me community, but I think I was just looking in the wrong areas. I never really got any peace from it. But when my mum died and my dad died at 19, I was homeless. My sister died at 27 and got alcohol and just don't know where to go. I found Jesus last year around February time. It's just something I got on my knees, started to pray, started to read the Bible, started to get into it. I felt like I didn't really need him. Like, my life was good. Financially was good. Emotionally was good. I was doing self-development. Yes, I wasn't around my kids, but I was doing really good. I was sound. I was quite clear-minded at the time. But he was setting me up for things. Months later, started to really disappear in my life and hurt me, and kept going to Jesus. He kept helping me and saving me. Kept helping me and saving me. Kept helping me and saving me. Instead of sitting by myself, I sat with Jesus. I put the things at the foot of the cross. Everything that I've been through has learned forgiveness, repentance, being good to people, forgiving people.
Wow.
So the only way to forgive is through Christ. It is just mad what people go through, and every answer is in the Bible, and it's just, you can't disprove anything. Yes, things contradict each other, like the 500 people that seen Christ and his disciples, but if I was in a jury and every story matched up, you'd tell on a lie. 500 people with exactly the same story.
It's funny because I'm writing a book at the moment, and I was talking about it to a friend who's very religious. And he said, so what sort of book is it? I said, it's a self-development book. He said, it'll never be as good as the original. And I didn't want to. He said, the Bible. I was like, oh, wow, okay. Yeah, that's a tall order, I think. But mate, I know you've got to go in a minute. So firstly, I just want to thank you for your time today, because it's just what I thought it would be, a very honest conversation. I've learned a lot from you just listening to you today. I think that you're right. I think a lot of the time these days, the word narcissist gets thrown around. And I think it was Jimmy Carter said, you're the one with the illness, but everyone else has got the symptoms. And it's just, I think we live in a world where people are kind of being boxed in and constantly thinking about themselves. And I can't get away from the notion, and you've just said it really, really well, that if we stop thinking about ourselves and we start thinking about others, all of a sudden we're not unhappy anymore.
Exactly.
You know, or at least we're working on it. We're working in the right direction.
It's something to do, but if you feel shit, go make someone else happy. You'd be good.
Do you know, it's such simple but brilliant advice. Really is. Just before we go, is there anything that you'd like to pass along to people to help them with their self-development?
Self-development is a horrible journey because you need to go into yourself. It's not ice baths, saunas, eating the right food and getting up every single day, journaling about your emotions, that everything's happy. It's an absolute horrific roller coaster. You may lose your mind on the way, but take the hard journey, because people always want to go around things or over things. You need to go through things to get the experience and wisdom. If you don't go through it, you're missing every opportunity for personal growth. Growth hurts like a seed. Everything has to break to grow, whether it's a seed or whatever. So you need to go through these points, and God will break you, but he will make you.
It's like that forest fire analogy, isn't it? When the big forest fire comes and it burns the whole forest to the ground, a few days later, we see new buds coming through.
Exactly.
A new growth, and then 10 years later we've got a beautiful forest again, or whatever it takes. Probably not 10 years, a bit soon. Listen, just before you go, is there anything that you want to direct people to, tell people where they can find you, anything that you're offering at the moment that people could take advantage of?
Yeah, so I'm a life coach, but I always say to people, I'm a life coach that hasn't got his life together. Simple as that. So I kind of help people through my coaching with perspective, mindset, a lot of things to do with gratitude, and it's changing the person, not the problem. You cannot change the problem, it's the person you need to change. So I go in with their emotions. You can find me on social media, just follow my content. If you don't want to be coached, just look at my content. If there's something that resonates, implement it. If there's something that triggers you, implement it. The same with you, your content's amazing. Do you know what I mean? So Mindset Soldier, if I can help in any way, let me know.
Mate, thanks again. Just before I go, just want to point you to the Slavery of Addiction documentary on YouTube. Still racking up the numbers on that, getting lots of good feedback, so go and check it out. I'll put the link in the description below. And obviously the website, johnnylawrence.co.uk, and I will see you next week on another episode of the Johnny Lawrence podcast.